I think that's always been really, really important to me. I think it would be very easy to kind of just work away and find the songs that sort of click and then put them all together and have a project of these songs. But I think anytime I think about artists that I'm inspired by, like say Kendrick or Hozier and stuff like that, I think about these bodies of work that are cohesive projects and every song works with the next and all that kind of thing. And so that was really important to me to do that. So yeah, I think it's like another thing where you put a bit more pressure on yourself, but it's worth it. I wrote the song quite a while ago, and it was one of those lovely things that kind of came together in a day almost. It was this really organic thing where my favorite days in studios are when you don't second guess everything. And I didn't know it was going to be a single, and I didn't know what the plan was for it. So I guess that was a good thing. I was just there to make music, and if it worked, happy days, and if not, then it was fine. So it was like a different sort of stage in my life, I guess, and different set of circumstances. And what it meant for me was just I wanted to almost send a message of comfort to somebody and to just remind someone that despite how difficult things might be and how, like, you know, that feeling of being in a rough patch and like realistic, you knows there's the next sort of chapter and that will end and you'll be on the other side of that. But when you're in it, it's not very easy to see that. And so it was me sort of trying to remind somebody that there is that next part, that where that bad patch has just gone away. And so, and then I guess it was written by me for someone in particular, but on a sort of bigger scale, it could mean that message could translate to anybody, you know. Coachella was awesome because I was shocked by the amount of Irish people there. And obviously you do the 2 weekends, and the second weekend I was quite sick. I was like that guy before I went on stage with my face in the steam and like trying to melt everything here. And so that was a tricky one, but I went out and it was just like a lot of Irish flags. Because I did like, there's so many Irish people go to things like New York and Boston, but I didn't know if people went to Coachella from Ireland. And so it was this really lovely boost to get when I walked out on stage. And then Glastonbury was amazing because there's that leading up to it, you just realize it's a really important thing to be a part of. And even if you never do it again, you've had your little moment of Glastonbury history where you play your part and do your best. And so, yeah, it was just fun. I think one of the things that touring a lot does for you is it means I don't necessarily, I'm sure this is case by case, but I don't get like nervous before I go on stage. I get kind of excited, and obviously there's a certain amount of nerves, like, because if it goes wrong, that's a bad thing. But it's mostly just excitement. And so for things like, and also things are so fast paced. So like that, you play Glastonbury and then literally you're back on a bus and you go play a different festival. So I think that's something that's quite difficult sometimes. You don't get to let things sink in, and you just move on very quickly. So like to play Glastonbury, if you told me that like 8 years ago, not in a cheesy way, it's just like you would not believe it. And so to do those things now kind of week in, week out, and then move on so fast, you gotta sort of check yourself and take a moment, yeah. There's an act from Ireland, and they're like, it's not traditional Irish music. That's where its roots are, but it's this really interesting sort of, it's sort of a step on from that, and they're called the Gloaming, and I won't even try and describe it, but it's just this super ethereal music, and it's just like, it's just really magic. They play the National Concert Hall in Dublin, and I've seen them like 5-6 times, and it's just the best. Like the president always goes to see them. It's just like they are the best at that. And then in terms of like people who say influenced me, I would love to ever be in the same room as like Justin Vernon or anybody from Bon Iver and just be involved in that. And I even, when I watch interviews with him and when I watch sort of things about Bon Iver, I just realize it's just like they've been so successful but just sort of maintain the same values the whole time, and it's always only been about music, and that really appeals to me. And I would love to kind of get way outside my comfort zone too. Like if I could like be involved with the likes of Stormzy or J. Cole or anything like that, yeah, stuff like that would blow my mind.
What's up, y'all? This is B.O.B.
This is G-Eazy.
I'm Mo. This is Julia Michaels.
This is Logic. Make sure you subscribe to the Recording Academy channel. Flex.